Hey guys, Jerry here with Living Life with Jerry and Mel. Well, I'm back out here at the pool. This thing's been open for a couple of days. I'll show you a few things, but first let me get a few things going. I got a little work to do around here today. All right, well, just about every year one of these gauges fails. They just, you know, they don't make them like they used to. So I got a new one here. I'm going to go replace it now. Now it's ready. No leaks. All right, I've been told that when this thing hits 20 to 30, which would be in between here, that it's a good time to go ahead and backwash. We're at about 19, so I think by the time I finish today, I'll backwash it anyway. Well, all right, I hope you can notice that it's real quiet out here. Just as a reminder, here's what our other pool filter sounded like when we opened this pool. And this is what our new one sounds like. Much better. It's much quieter. When you're around in front of the pool house, you can't even hear it running. It's an Aqua Strong. Don't know that much about them, but it came with a 3-year warranty and it's a 2 horsepower. So let's keep our fingers crossed this thing lasts. Well, all right, we've got the Wybot robotic vacuum going in here. I have fixed a gauge on the pump. Now let's check these socks. Doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to pull this out and just let you see what this sock catches. Can you see down in there? I'm going to take it out. Get off of there. Looks like some sort of bee. Let's take this over and clean it. So if you haven't done it yet, I would suggest getting these little filter socks. This keeps a lot of stuff going into your filter and clogging that stuff up just by using this a little bit. So now I've got a clean sock, and this sock, you know, like I said, I gave about $8 for 50 of them on Amazon. You could change them every time you do it, or just like I just did, clean it out and use it again. But all of that stuff that this catches, it keeps it from going to your filter, whether you have an actual filter or whether you got a sand filter like I've got. This right here keeps a lot of stuff from going in there. So I'm gonna go reinstall this and get to the next step. All right, let's check some chemicals. First thing you want to do is get some water. I go to about the middle of the pool. I go in like this right here and try to scoop some as far down as I can, which is maybe about to here, you know. Let's go test this water. All right, a couple of things that I use. I use 2 different methods because I just want to double check. I just got some of these easy test strips. I'll put some links below for these. I've also, this is an old one. I don't even know if they make AquaChem anymore, but I will put a link to one of these where you can test your water. This one's just a simple one. Chlorine, bromine, pH, and that sort of thing. So that's all there is. And I just went and got a refill, 3-way test kit. So let's see what happens. Put a little water in here. There's a fill line that's a little below it because you want to be able to shake this stuff up. That's good, close enough. So you do 3 drops of the red and 3 drops of the yellow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. I've been a little low on pH, so I have been adding soda ash. So let's see where we're at. All right, as you can see, or I don't know if you can or not, try to get it in there where there's not as much of a shadow. The chlorine is good, and I think the pH is good too. It might need a little more soda ash, but that's why I'm gonna do this test strip next. Very simple. Dip it in there for 1 second, 1001, then hold it up for 15 seconds. So 5. Okay. On here, the pH is looking a lot better than it had been. I think though that I will add 1 cup of the pH up, and alkalinity looks real good. So 2 things that I'm going to do. Number 1, I'm going to add 1 cup of the pH up, which is basically soda ash. I get the Clorox brand because it cost a little bit more, but I just didn't want a 50-pound bag of soda ash in here, you know. And it has been a few days since we opened this pool, and I like to shock it, you know, once a week. I don't do a full shock, but I think today I'm going to put a couple of bags in. This pool requires basically 4.5 to 5 bags to do the full shock. So I'll just do 2, and I'll make sure my chlorine tablets look good. Let's get this done. All right, today I'm going to use this Clorox pH up. All it is soda ash. I can't see anything else on here. It may have some other stuff in it, but it's just soda ash, you know. There's a difference between soda ash and then say like baking soda. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, and soda ash is sodium carbonate. That's big words, and I can't tell you the difference, except it must have 2 parts bicarbonate for baking soda. If I'm wrong, just correct me, you know. The other thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to use this HTH Advanced Shock, and I'm going to put two bags in the pool. I've got a little pool party coming up, and want to make sure everything is nice and clean. All right, it might not be necessary, but when I put a chemical in, before I put the next one, I wait 5 or 10 minutes, just to give it time for that to get melted down into the water. Let's do some shock. All right, I'm gonna do one more bag. All right, this water is really clearing up. So far, I think we've put, the day that we opened it up, the pump wasn't working, but I put a bag in there along with the Wynonna, the robot, and it stirred it up and got everything going. And then once we got the other pump on, we put another 3 bags in. So that was 4 bags, and now about 5 days later, I've put 2 more in. What I'll normally do during the week, I like to shock it once a week, especially here. You know, I've got all these trees that are here, and there's just a lot of dust and debris and things that get in there, and sometimes it causes you to have an algae bloom. So I just shock it once a week. I may only put 1 bag in it next time. It depends on the chlorine. But here, since we haven't even had this thing open 1 week, I'm just going to make sure we get it good and ready for the summer. You know what I mean? So, all right. Feels good to have that done, and actually feels real good this early to have this clear of water. All right, so one thing that we have out here in the country is there's all sorts of bugs. We got wasp nest, but a big problem out here so far is ants. I think them ants thought they'd found them a home underneath the pool cover. So out here on our covered deck at the pool house, really the only thing that I use is this right here. It's just a can of Raid, and I just don't think that you can kill all these ants. There's probably billions of them around here. So we just spray a little bit every time we come out here. I'll take this can and I'll spray around along the base of this building and around this door. And no real scientific method, you know, just spray along the base there. And we'll see that once this stuff gets down there, you don't have as big of an ant problem. So that's a tough one really around here, you know, is the bugs. My granddaughters are scared to death of anything that flies, like a wasp or a yellow jacket, and I don't blame them. All right, let's go on to the next thing. The next thing for me is just to sit back and relax. I'll let that robot do the job out there. Once she's finished, I'll pull it out, clean her up. And the last thing I'll do today is then I'll take that pool brush and scrub down the sides again. And if I see anything, any debris or anything in the floor of this pool, it won't be leaves. There's no leaves in there. I'll just get it and I'll try to push it down towards the main drain. That way it'll get circulated. If nothing else, if it gets up, it'll get circulated down here, because up there we just don't have any pressure, you know. So, all right, let's just enjoy this for a little while. And you know it's pretty cool, it's so quiet. Can't even hear that pump. You know what? Let's go back here and just check and see. Yeah, let's just make sure it's running. Don't even sound like it's running. Yeah, it's running. That other one, it was a loud mess. Well, I decided to just go ahead and go around the pool with this brush because, you know, we're at the water line. There is sometimes some debris gets attached to the side of the pool, to the liner. So I'm just going to see if I can go around here right quick and break some of that up. All right, I'm doing this brushing right now, and I'm brushing everything down to the main drain. And you know, this may be right or wrong. All I'm telling you is how I do things, you know. I've always will have somebody that say they want to do it different, and that's, you know, that's fine. But one thing that I found after I shocked the pool, and it's been an hour or so, that there's stuff that shock, invisible to the naked eye in this water, I guess is killed. So I just start sweeping it and pushing it towards that main drain. If that's wrong, I don't know, but my water's looking pretty good. I'm not going to say it's crystal clear yet, but it's not bad. You know, I can see when I take the brush and go like this, there is still some stuff, you know, there. It's not nearly like it was when we first opened the pool, but we'll get it. But we're going in the right direction, I think. This is the retirement lifestyle of Jerry. Always something to do. But I won't be out here every day of the summer. But when you first open a pool, you need to be there. Most people have the pool at their own home, so they get home from work and they go out and work on their pool for an hour or whatever. I don't live that far away, so it's not a big deal, but you know, I'll come over here every day for a week or so, and then I'll start coming every 2 or 3 days, something like that, unless the water warms up and I want to go swim. Alright, this thing actually ran for about 1 hour and 45 minutes today. So it's time to get it out. Let me show you how I do that. Alright, so we have, I take my net off of here and you got this hook. And you just go down there and hook it. I wish that this thing would end up in the shallow end, but it never does. So let's get this thing hooked and up there. Go down here and we'll hook this thing. and I'll start pulling it to the other side of the pool. Let's check out what this thing picked up today. All right, I'm gonna open it up for you. It's not as bad as it was the first time. It's got some worms this time, and there's still some of that green stuff in there, but not nearly as much. So let's get this thing rinsed out. A friend of mine who was in the lawn care business said, be sure you always take care of your equipment, and that's what you do with this Wybot. This is the 3rd year we've had it, and I need it to go longer, you know, because it's been a godsend. Anybody that has a pool that doesn't have one, see if you can just borrow somebody that has it, and you're gonna love it. All right, filter here is done. Let me spray off the vacuum itself. You always want to rinse it with just cold, fresh water, because the chlorine can be pretty rough on it, you know? So, rinsing it down with a little water, you know, is it going to get all the chlorine out of there? Probably not, but, you know, maybe it'll help this thing last a little longer. All right, let's go plug her in. Just dry a little bit around that plug. It's always important. Be sure you have that on there good and tight before you throw it in. So it would probably fry it. All right, so let's plug this thing in. See if the light comes on. We're on charge now. All right, she'll be ready for the next vacuum. Always put your hook up. If I lost that hook, I don't know what I'd do. I guess I would make something out of a clothes hanger, so I don't know. But anyway. All right, this thing is up to about 23. It was 19. So I'm gonna go ahead and backwash it. Let's see what happens. Turn it to backwash. Turn this back on. Not sure how that's picking up on the camera, but it's it is dirty. That's some of the stuff that's been in this pool that's keeping me from being able to say that I've got a crystal clear water. All right, I'm gonna go turn it off now. Back to filter and back on. Let's see where we're at here now. At about 17. I probably could have backwashed it a little more, but we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, what do you think? Am I getting closer to this being crystal clear now? Tell you, I will say it's crystal clear when I pull the sock out over there and it doesn't have the dark greenish type of stuff that's in there. I may need to hit this with just a little algicide, I don't know, but I want to be sure whatever I do that I'm trying everything I can to keep this water clear. You know, once it warms up a little bit, I'll be able to get in here and get in the water and clean the stairs a little more, the steps, and then take it from there, you know. But it is looking a lot better. Well, all right, that is my pool routine for today. Sometimes it has a few more steps in it, but I think the main thing is keep it clean. Use that brush the sides, brush the floor. Don't let any trash get in the pool and sit there for too long, and keep your chemicals balanced. Be sure you use plenty of chlorine. You know, in my pool anyway, some people have the saltwater pools, and when I say plenty of chlorine, I mean just keep it balanced. A few years ago I was using the liquid chlorine, and you'd put it in there and the levels would spike real good. I'd check it out and say, all right, it looks good. Well, I come to find out that the liquid is not the world's best. The sun will basically render it inefficient pretty quickly. And that was the year I had the yellow algae outbreak that I don't even want to go there. That was horrible. But anyway, just keep your chemicals in balance, keep it clean. That's kind of it. That's what I do. You can't just sit and look at it and, you know, hope that it stays clear or clears up or whatever. You got to do the things you got to do. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. We really do appreciate it. If you liked any part of it, hit the like button. Hype the video. If you see the hype button on your phone, hype it. Subscribe to our channel. All of that really helps us out a lot. We're a small channel, me and Mel, and we're just having fun. And we're trying to show things that we do in our older years that maybe you can do too. So appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time on Living Life with Jerry and Mel. Bye-bye and take care.